Hello. Yes, I'm wearing my pre-holiday out pajama with my pre-holiday beanie. Uh, Hello, my chronic lovies. Let's all be chronically ill together, shall we? With our hypermobility, our ADHD, our autism, or whatever that causes us to have all kinds of comorbidities. Anyway. I've just had an annoying afternoon, which don't we always have this kind of stuff? So, let me explain. I live in Oakland, major city, congested with lots of people. I grew up in San Francisco, another major city, congested with lots of people. A lot more dense than other places. And let's face it, the people who have more money live in the less dense places. I work in a school in Orinda where everyone is pretty wealthy and everything is pretty low key, and I don't know if they have parking issues and worried about how they're going to park and spend $7 an hour to park while they're trying to go to a doctor visit, or how they're getting their Sunday free parking taken away, which is what's happening in Oakland. Yeah, our free parking is getting taken away for Sunday, which I told my husband I don't remember voting for that. They just want to make people in cities poor and destitute. I can't anymore. Anyways, what is this all about? I had done an MRI for my cervical spine, and I don't have all the info in front of me, but there's some areas that are like have issues with possible nerve and C4 or C5. I don't know the lingo. Anyway, point being, I got referred to go to orthopedic to do PT, and they're in Oakland. They're like in a downtown area, and they're in a building that is attached to a parking lot. And no, this orthopedic place does not cover any parking validation or anything of that nature. So being that I'm almost 50, I walked in. I didn't know how to figure out the parking situation because I was trying to pay it online, and like I didn't have my card with me because I was at home, and ADHD, leaving things behind. Anyway, so I went to check in with these people at the appointment, and I was like, I don't think this is going to work out. I don't think I'm going to enjoy coming here how many ever times a week I need to come and fight for parking, either on the street because it's cheaper or in the lot, and pay like almost $7 an hour and deal with that stress. So they just had a place in Walnut Creek, and I'm like, well, I work in Orinda, so I'll just go to the Walnut Creek one. Screw it. And it's becoming more and more in my life where I will just go to the car dealership that's in Concord versus San Leandro, or the doctors that might be in Walnut Creek instead of Oakland. I mean, it wasn't as annoying. Well, I mean, I guess going to San Francisco was annoying for the heart stuff for UCSF, but at least, the parking was sort of covered and stuff. But honestly, don't mind my wispy hair. I wonder if that's another sign of hypermobility. We just tend to have bad hair, bad nails, bad everything. Anyway. So yeah, that was annoying, but I decided to just reschedule on the spot, which for my younger girls who, I know this because I went through this in my 20s where I was like, okay, I'll just stick with the appointment and deal with it. And when you have that feeling where you're like, I don't want to fucking do this, listen to that. When you want to find a better alternative, go for it. And I did. Hopefully. We don't know. We moved to January 8th in Walnut Creek. I'll have time after work to get there. And we'll see how it goes. It's enough that, like, with hypermobility, again, I'm on the spectrum. I was never told whether I have full EDS. I did do the sequencing test. I just sent that in this week. So I'm looking forward to hearing more about that. And I think what kicked this off was doing the Clarity X test, which I've talked about a long time ago. Finding out low comp gene, low dopamine, or issues with MTHFR and issues with fatigue and stuff like that. So I'm definitely still looking into that. I definitely still want to try to find something through my health insurance, but I don't know, man. It's like they only will test you if it's something they want to test you on. Anyway, yeah, they want me to do like this defibrillator for my heart and stuff, and I'm like, one thing at a time. I'm hypermobile. I want to work on that and my gut stuff and other things, and anyways, because my wish for hitting 50 is I want to find a way to manage this in a way that I can figure out PT, how to be stronger, better aligned, how to find strength and energy again in my life, and get in better shape. I'm not in terrible shape, but I'm like, fatigued all the time, having a hard time getting out of bed, getting tired very quickly, losing motivation. And, lots of doctors want to make it seem like it's about anxiety or depression. Now, that's there sometimes, but this is just as if my brain and the brain fog and all that in my body is just like, everything's diminished me. And so I'm just like not fully here. And I think that most of us know all about that since COVID-19, 2020. More and more of us know about that feeling. I've kind of dealt with it on and off throughout my whole life. I was just equated it to my hormones, which is probably partially the connection, but I don't know, I could have prolactin issues, which, by the way, I never even heard of prolactin when I was younger. These are the things I want to look at, like, how am I processing? How do I have too much of certain things? Do I have not enough of certain things that I'm supposed to have? That kind of stuff. So I have some irons in the fire. I did the sequencing test. I think I might, I don't know if I want to talk to some people at Clarity X again, because I still have questions about some of that, or just go to a new doctor, because I've been trying to get a genetic doctor to do, what can I say? We need insurance to cover functional medicine. We need insurance to cover healthcare for neurodivergent people who have comorbidities, who have tons of different things that they have to deal with. Because if I have to go, if I have to deal with hypermobility and I have to go to like a GI doctor and an allergist and an immunologist, or like 5-6 different doctors for something for the root thing that's affecting all these areas, then I'm going to lose my shit. Aren't we all? Aren't we all just going to lose our shit? Yeah. Anyway, on the positive, I like the school I work at. I finished my week. I worked with some kindergartners and second graders, and they had some songs they were singing today. It was lovely. We finished our week. My kids are going to finish at their school in Oakland, and we're going to have a break. We're going to see friends who are coming from out of town back to the Bay Area and do some Christmas caroling, which I love. So, I got to focus on the positive. And in 6 days, Stranger Things Volume 2 will be out. The only downside is that at 5 o'clock Pacific is usually when we're at Christmas dinner. So I might have to see it the next day on the 26th. And I'm doing my best to kind of like not be on TikTok all the time, although it's tough because there's already little sneak peeks and spoilers and things, and I don't want to have my volume 2 spoiled completely before I watch it. So luck out there, peace and love, and keep fighting the good fight and enjoying those shows that keep you going throughout the week. And I gotta tell you, Stranger Things is very much a show about neurodivergency as well. It's sitting there, baked in.